Hello. I'm Barry Rodriguez, and I'm going to do a book review here of a very interesting book called The Acid Queen. By Susannah Cahalan. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. This book is about the life of Rosemary Woodruff, who became a counterculture celebrity that was known as the Acid Queen because of her association with her husband, Dr. Timothy O'Leary, who is, he's a Harvard professor. And he was the person that was endorsing and promoting the U.S. LSD to expand your mind and know yourself and improve your consciousness. And Rosemary was married to this gentleman, I guess, for like 7 years. And she was the queen behind the throne of the psychedelic king there, Timothy Leary, was, encouraged people to turn on and tune out of society and expand their mind. So Rosemary wasn't she had a different experience from her husband, Timothy Leary, but she was very instrumental on helping him organize and his thought and promoting him. And she had a very interesting life. Everything from going to this Millbrook Hitchcock estate in New York, where it was a large estate where the psychonauts, which is the term these people use to describe their journeys into the outer space of the mind by use of psychedelics. So Rosemary was part of that scene. Now, Timothy Leary was a little older than she was, so he was of a different generation. And she was pretty much involved in what other people were involved in at the time, besides the use of psychedelics, which was the I Ching and astrology and Eastern cultures and mysticism. But she was made of sterner stuff. I mean, at this time, people such as herself and Dr. Timothy Leary and people like Allen Ginsberg and the like, they were seen as enemies by the government of the United States, and they were under scrutiny by the FBI and things like that. So she went through a lot of that because of being part of that group that was seen as a threat to the good order society. There was things in her life. She ended up being exiled in Algeria. Before that, she helped facilitated, at the very least, getting her husband escaping from jail. This group knew the radicals, the Weather Underground, the Black Panthers, all those things that were going on during the 60s, with the backdrop of the civil rights and Vietnam War and anti-government demonstrations. So there's a lot to chew here. This is a very interesting book. I myself, because my age, I was, very much around all this kind of things, living in San Francisco and going to Los Angeles. And there was all these gurus and all these people professing to know something to enlighten us. And so Rosemary was part of this kind of thing. And once she and Timothy Leary were in exile. I mean, using different identities and not trusting too many people. It's an extraordinary life. And then after a while, the statute of limitations for the things that she could have been in prison for was run out. So he returned to the States, but also under another name and living in Cape Cod and Provincetown, and pretty much out of the spotlight. And then also, she was a person of great character, because although she knew all these people that were wanted by the FBI and federal government, she never gave up anyone. And her husband betrayed her ex, and after they parted ways, he was pretty much concerned with promoting himself, where that wasn't what her bag was. So this is a very good book, and an interesting read, especially for a person my age who didn't know everything that was going on at the time. So it's Susannah Cahalan. Terrible mangling the pronunciation, but the book, The Acid Queen, very interesting. And, the Who had that concept album Tommy, and there's lyrics in there referring to, in one of their songs, about the Acid Queen, undoubtedly inspired by Rosemary Woodruff. I mean, she was an integral part of that kind of scene, and very influential, and for people that would actually figure out what her life was about. So I encourage you to read this book, The Acid Queen. Very interesting. And history is circular, so these kind of things go on again. There's evolution. It comes around again, people exploring. And everyone at that time was interested in psychedelics. The government was trying to use it to see if they could manipulate people's minds. So everyone was on a journey for different reasons, and Rosemary Woodruff was one of those people. As she died in February 2002. And to say, at the very least, she lived like many lifetimes in her one lifetime. So peace and love, and happy trails to you.